We have a malfunctioning wife story, and this one is coming out of India. This is the Off My Chest India subreddit. So, this is an Indian lady. Globally, wife appliances are waking up as wild. She says, I will leave my family once my younger son goes to college. She's 41. She says she's 41, her husband is 46. She says, I have finally summoned the courage to leave my family and for once just live for myself. I realize it's a selfish decision and I'll be hated for it, but every day I suffocate in my home. I don't hate my husband. He's a wonderful man. He's bright and funny, handsome. He has never been cruel or unkind to me, and I have been in love with him for many years now. But he doesn't love me. He doesn't see me. I'm an extension of him, his wife, the woman he takes to parties and gatherings, the woman who is always at home, the woman who is a consummate host, the woman who loves him. My sons, 18 and 17, are my pride and joy. I think they love me, but they haven't respected me in years. To them, I am once again their mother, who is just a housewife. I do things for them around the house. I make their food. I listen to their problems, but I don't have a fancy job. I'm not exciting. I'm just their mom. And I can't remember the last time they told me they loved me or respected me. I can't remember the last time my opinion was not laughed at. I know I'm not an intellectual. I am just a housewife. But does that mean my opinion should be disregarded or laughed about? The elder one is in college. He barely responds to my calls. And my younger one is always busy with his studies. I understand, but maybe a small acknowledgement wouldn't hurt. They went from sweet children to boys who could barely tolerate me. I don't nag. My husband made it clear in the early days of our marriage that his life and job is tough and he wants peace in the home. So I don't nag. I try to make the house as warm and loving as possible. I celebrate their birthdays with pomp, and I remember every important date, every promotion, every social event. I can't remember the last time they celebrated my birthday. Our last anniversary party was 3 years ago. I wanted to go to a nice little place with my family, but my husband turned it into an office promotion party and anniversary party. These are so small, I feel like an idiot crying about my petty issues, but I don't have any other outlet. I want to talk. I want to talk to my husband. I want him to listen to me. I want him to spend time with me, but I don't try anymore. He mostly he mostly will ignore me when I try. Like I said, he's stressed, and I told myself long ago that home would be the place where he felt at peace. So I stay silent and smile. I do wonder if he cheats on me. He's a good man and our intimate life is still active, but he has more options. He's still handsome and charming. There are women who he respects more, pretty women with wonderful careers. I barely ever worked. I wonder if he looks at me and thinks with disgust about the leech who sits at home and doesn't match him. For people worried that I'll take him to the cleaners, don't worry. I will leave everything, all the jewelry he ever bought me, all the money in our account. Maybe I'll just take a little to set myself up for a while. My parents left me some money a few years ago, and I invested that, so I have something on which I can fall back. My brother is going to help me buy a shop. I don't need too much, so I'll manage with whatever that gets me. Rest. I'll take my only street in. I'll keep some pieces aside for my future deals, and maybe I'll sell that in case of emergencies. My children and husband will have my numbers. They can call me whenever they wish, although I don't think they will. But I will leave and be by myself, my own person. I don't wish for much, but I do hope that whatever remaining years I have, they will be kind to me. She says, I don't wish for much, but I do hope, man, that her remaining years will be kind. They have to be better than what she's experiencing right now. She says, I apologize for this long post filled with my petty problems and for wasting the time of those who sat and read the whole post. She did say, edit, I want to make sure that people realize I do not hate my husband or children. They are my life, even now. They are not monsters. They are human, and we have had so much joy in life. It was not all bad. Much of it was good, and I don't regret it. I am at fault more than them. I spent my entire life making myself so small that they couldn't see me. Even now, I have so much in my heart that I want to say, but for years, no one listened. And now I don't know how to say it. Edit 2. I posted an update since there were too many comments and messages, and I thought it would be disrespectful not to address when people have taken the time to write. This is not petty. You are human. They have not looked at you as a whole human. They might not be bad, they might not be monsters, but they haven't seen your humanity in all of the years that you have been in their lives. And for that, they are not good people. They have looked at you as a servant of the home and as a wife appliance. So that does not make them good people. The woman that tagged me into this post says, your married life could be the exact same as my mother's, except that I know she will never leave my father. I wish she would, though. Your decision to leave your family makes me so happy I could cry. Maybe in an alternate universe, I can think of you as my mother if she decided to live life for herself and find what makes her happy. Sometimes people need to learn through suffering the consequences of their actions. Your husband and children see you as their wife or mom appliance and happiness machine and forgot about your humanity in the process. Gosh, people really do listen to me. That is not a silly feeling or you being petty. You cannot keep pouring your love and care to people who will only take and never give anything in return. Find people around you who will care about you as a person. Build some kind of support system. If that is difficult for now, pour all the love and care you have given your family into yourself. Wishing you all the happiness in the world. Natural ad pretty much summed up everything I would say because that is a lot of the things that I say. And I'm going to keep saying it until it gets programmed into our mind that we deserve love and all of that. We deserve support. And we are not wife appliances and happiness machines for men. We are not the servants of the home. We are whole humans that have ambitions and goals and want to talk and feel love. We are all of that. We're more than just a wife and a mom. Here's her enumerated edit. It's pretty long. She says, 1, I received a lot of replies and messages after my first post, but since so many people responded, it became difficult to address each message. And I didn't want to be disrespectful by ignoring. Hence, I am trying to address most of the queries in a single post. Most of you have been incredibly kind. Number 1, why didn't I work? Answer, honestly, I tried to work after my marriage, but if you see my age coupled with my children's age, I got married and had children quite early. Despite that, I did try working, but my husband has a transfer job that required moving every 2 to 3 years. We could have stayed separately for longer periods of time, but it was a decision that had to be taken, and we decided early on that it would be better for the family to be together whenever possible. Also, I was always the primary parent and caregiver, even for my in-laws who lived with me. It wasn't difficult to get a job. It was difficult to keep one because at any time a family issue or emergency popped up, my work would be the first thing that was unimportant. Same in the case of social obligations with my husband's career. I was also living away from my husband for several stretches, which meant being the sole parent and caregiver. Number 3, don't hate your sons. They are young. She says, I could never hate my children. They are my world. I am not abandoning them. I am not disappearing into the wind. They will have my number and address. They are free to visit me. Anytime they need me, even in the future, I will drop everything for them. I am not leaving to punish. I'm leaving for once. I'm leaving for once. I want to do what is best for myself. They will hate me for it as I adore their father, just a price I have to pay. As they adore their father, just a price I have to pay. Number 4, do my parents support me? My parents are dead, but if they weren't, they would not stand in my corner. I took care of them in their last days. I suppose as a way to finally get some love and affection I found lacking in my childhood. My brother remained their favorite till the day they died. I am grateful for the small amount of money they left for me. It will be useful when I leave. My brother and I have improved our relationship over the years. He feels some guilt about the fact that our parents left him everything, despite me doing the large chunk of heavy lifting for their care and the help and he helps me now. But we don't interfere in each other's marriages or family life. Boys have always been the golden children, and women always end up being the caretaker for parents at the end of their lives. It is so unfair how the daughters of the family are treated and how they are not given any money at the end of their parents' lives. This is so egregious to me and it's so hurtful for women. She says, number 5, this reminds me of the English Vinklish. Ha ha ha. This comment always makes me laugh. I think I will finally watch finances. I will be leaving my street on and my ring plus Mangala suture. I will leave behind all the jewelry he has bought for me. I wore them for him anyway and don't think I will need them when I leave. I invested some of my parents' money and my own earnings from before into the share market. I am active in that area and know how to turn a profit. I am not a novice in handling finances. My brother and I are looking into a shop. The details about that I will keep to myself. I also volunteer at an NGO and I have a standing offer for a part time position in one of their main offices. It will not be a luxurious lifestyle, but I will manage. My husband's money has always been his. It stings that after 20 years, it has never been ours. But what can I say at this point? Number 7, friends and hobbies. I have hobbies, ones that are mostly considered trivial and silly by my family, but I also have an active social circle and many social obligations because of my husband's career and organization. I will lose all of them as soon as I leave. That's a price I'm willing to pay. Number 8, my husband. There is a lot I want to say, but for him, the words seem to stop. I don't know when he stopped seeing me. Maybe he never started. I am 40 and I look my age, but I like to believe I am not unattractive. I still receive compliments and I know that he doesn't find me physically unattractive. I did spend a lot of time bettering myself because I thought it would make him notice me, appreciate me, and want to talk to me. But I don't think I ever figured out why he couldn't see me. According to him, everything is fine and I make a big deal out of nothing. So I just don't talk about it anymore. I realized early on that in my husband's life, my complaints had very little space. I also know he is stressed and that he deserves a warm home. So that's what I have given him for almost 20 years. In his organization, wives play an important role with social obligations, and I have tried my best to be an asset to him. Said the right things, pick the right things, talk to the right people, but in 20 years, it is still his money, his life, his hard work in his house. He gets respect, money, promotions. I get disrespect or apathy. I get told that I don't understand because I don't work. My NGO work should be pushed aside when he has a social obligation because my work is just a hobby. Number 9, just talk to them. This one stings the most. I have been married for over 19 years. Do people think I have taken this decision lightly? I have tried to talk. That's all I've wanted, to talk and actually have a family that listens, that cares enough to try. I have spent my life trying to make my family happy. They have never once tried to do the same for me. I am their home. I am their comfort. I am their peace. Why couldn't they be my comfort? A lot of questions were asked about my boys, but I don't nag them. I don't call them every day or bother them. But is it too much that my older one picks up his phone to talk to me once in 3 or 4 days? That he doesn't act annoyed with me? They are not disrespectful children, but with me, something went wrong. Is it wrong for me to ask my children to call me, come check on me when I'm hospitalized? A husband who actually spent time sitting by my bedside for long periods of time when I was sick. Some people said that I nitpicked over birthdays. I'm not asking for lavish celebrations, but maybe they could remember it. Wish me at 12 once in a while. My last birthday was forgotten by everyone. I have remembered every birthday, every anniversary, every promotion that has been celebrated, every milestone. In return, I get dust. I won a small prize from the organization where I volunteer. No one from my family came. I begged them to, but not even my husband seemed to care enough. How long do I beg for the bare minimum? They have never had to beg or threaten. All the love I have freely. I can't write anymore, but there is still so much in my heart. For once, I don't want to be secondary in the lives of my own family. My decision to leave is selfish, but I want to be selfish now. I apologize for the long post once again, and thank you to anyone who will take out the time to read my ramblings. Edit. You all have shown me a lot of kindness. I am grateful. I apologize for not replying individually and to all the kind messages I got. Please do not be offended. I am simply overwhelmed by life and all the support I have received. This whole thing just made me so sad for this woman that she's never been seen, and all she has ever had is love for her family. And they won't notice it until she's gone. And I really do hope that, she does find the happiness and love and support, even if it is just from herself to herself. I'm glad that more women are waking up to the fact that we are more than just here to serve the men in our lives. Men don't deserve all of this. These men have never given back to her. Why should she just have to keep pouring into them and losing out on any kind of modicum of happiness or care? I'm just so sad for this lady. But hopefully she gets what she's looking for. The first comment on this post says, "More power to you, OP. It's time for you to do what's best for you." And the second says, "You don't need to explain yourself to anyone, nor take anyone else's advice, especially on Reddit and especially on this sub, as this is not an advice sub. You got things off your chest, and you should be proud of yourself for being self aware and brave enough to come to this decision despite everything. You're not doing anything wrong. In fact, you're doing everything right by doing this for yourself. You raised your kids into adulthood. You served your husband and his family. You did everything you could and was expected of you as a wife and a daughter-in-law. It's time you do something for yourself now." And I am very glad that this woman is getting support on this sub. From what I've seen, she deserves it. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.